See, here's the thing, man. We live in a time where people got too many opinions, for one. And we also live in a time where instead of people looking at situations all the way through for what it is and considering things that most people are not considering, instead of them doing that, they rather compare or relate situations to their own personal experiences. But what they fail to realize is that you can't do that, because everybody don't share the same perspective, the same morals, the same integrity, the same upbringing, or same outlook on life as you do. So you wrong for that. So when it come down to the video, you know, bringing his kid the food, I don't even know if his kid was a boy or a little girl, but I'm gonna just say son, you know what I'm saying, for the conversation. But I didn't see a man doing anything wrong. Only thing I seen was a man providing for his seed as he's supposed to. There was no rule, no law, or no rule book that says that a man is obligated or required to take care of kids that are not his. But there is a scripture that says God bless the child that can hold his own. And that child meaning an individual that grows into an adult and take care of their business. You get what I'm saying? So when I look at the whole outlook of everything, I'm like, dang, man, they giving this man hell because he didn't provide for some kids that's not his. Now, one thing that he said that made sense was, you had them kids. I ain't tell you to do that. You chose to lay down with them men. Now, if them men don't support your kids, and if those men are not in your life or your kids' life, or if those men were not what you thought they was, and they end up leaving you on stuck to raise children by yourself, then you got to fault yourself. You can't blame the next man, the next baby daddy, or anybody that you fool with for what you chose to do and for who you chose to lay up with, not knowing that the outcome would be what it is. I also seen a man trying to help the woman understand before he called her dumb for suggesting what she did. But on the other end, I seen a woman talking to this man like he ain't shit, talking crazy, over talking him, talking loud. So I can only imagine why they not together no more. I can only imagine what he deal with as a man already, outside of just bringing food. Then I look at it this way. If the woman act like that about him bringing his son or his child something to eat, damn, do she be like that when he bring his child some shoes, some clothes, take them to a video, to an arcade, or to go see movies, or to go on a trip to the beach or something? He got to do that for the rest of the kids too, just because they his siblings? Don't he got a grandma, a granddaddy, uncles, aunts, older cousins, on both sides for that matter? Ain't you a parent yourself? So when that child of yours is gone off with their daddy or getting spoiled by their daddy, then you need to be spoiling them or help them understand why their sibling is getting all this good treatment, because their daddy is a good daddy. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's why I tell people we need to start being honest with our kids and start educating our kids early, so they don't have to sit back and feel crazy or look stupid or think something is wrong. You walking around the house making your child that have a good father feel bad about having a good father, and then you want to strip that away from him because his sibling is not experiencing that because of a choice that you made. But that's negative as hell, that's toxic, and that is selfish. Because, you know, I done been in situations like when me and my baby mama had done, you know, had our outs or whatever. It was times where I brought my daughter something, but not her sons. But there was also times when we was all good and we lovey-dovey, we together, and my daughter's brother's daddy brought them something and not my daughter. But guess what? If I was around, I went and got my daughter something. If her mama was around, she went and got my daughter something, or she just made my daughter something. Because at the end of the day, food ain't nothing but fuel. It's not that serious. That lady could have easily went in there and made them kids something else. You want to make a big deal about it being McDonald's, but it's not just McDonald's. It's McDonald's coming from your father. So I wouldn't even tell him that he couldn't eat the food, and I wouldn't make him go in a whole nother room or sit outside and eat the food. You go eat your food. And if the kids have a problem with it, I'd be like, well, that's what his daddy brought him. Y'all want something, I'll make y'all something, especially if I'm getting food stamps. You get what I'm saying? So I just think that whole situation was messed up in the way people going about judging old boy, acting like he's obligated to take care of this woman's other kids. Now, if he did want to come through and be thoughtful and bring the other kids something cool, that's a good gesture, kudos. But that don't give you no extra value. That don't make you a good person or a good man. She still probably would have talked to him like shit, and who knows? We don't know. That man probably already done did that and got treated like shit and told himself he'll never do that again. We don't know. This man could have just got out of prison. We don't know. This man could be already on child support trying to make it do what it do and still looking out for his son. We don't know. His son probably called his daddy and said, Daddy, I want McDonald's. And he said, son, that's what you want, yeah? And he brought it. He probably spent his last to get that for his son. It's so many missing points that we're not considering because people want to point the finger and judge because they can relate to that situation to some degree. But even the people that can relate, or even the bitter baby mamas out there that deal with the same energy, it's still your fault because of the men that you chose. Stop putting it all on this man. I'm so tired of women trying to tell men what they need to do and what they should be doing just because they got the law on their side. A man is a man and a man is an individual. Men, women, people do what the hell they want to do. It ain't no right or wrong if that man chooses to bring them other kids something to eat or not. It's that man's decision. You know what I'm saying? It's that man's belief, and that man don't have to come off his square for nobody. If you want to get them kids something, cool. If you don't, cool, because at the end of the day, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and that is provide for what you created. I don't care how many people argue against that, go against that, or whatever. He still is taking care of what he created. Now, the same women that got a problem with this man buying his kids something and not his siblings something, it's the same women that have a problem with that man coming to pick up his son and taking him back to his crib with his new woman at and her kids at, and him playing with her kids. Oh, nah, you ain't finna have my son around that bitch. Damn, you don't want me to have my son around other kids, but you want me to feed other kids while you have all the kids around a different nigga. What sense does that make? Like, who the hell put you in charge? Who the hell gave you to say so? Like, women be overstepping their boundaries in situations like that. Like, stay in your lane. If you want your siblings to get treated, if you want your kids to get treated like they sibling get treated, then you need to reach out to their daddies and have this one-on-one and try to get on the same accord. Because clearly, your other son and daddy know what to do whether y'all get along or not. So you should be proud for that. Because you don't have to deal with that when it come down to him. That's one less baby daddy that you got to deal with. This woman could have 2 or 3 other baby daddies. That nigga might be the 4th one. We don't know. We sitting up here judging a man for taking the initiative and putting in the effort to cater to feeding and providing for his son. That just blows my mind the way y'all act like this man is not a man for that. And then how some of the dudes who are that type of man that, you know, make sure all the kids eat and all that. Hey, that's you, homeboy. Everybody don't think like you. So you can't sit up here and downplay the next man because they don't think like you or because they wasn't raised like you. Now, that same man might be the type that have a basketball team or be at a family reunion and feed all the kids, Little Caesars, whatever. Because at that moment, he's being a king in the village. You know what I'm saying? Who, for all we know, hell, them kids probably be disrespecting the hell out of that man, even when he was with the mama. Like, he probably couldn't never get no bun with them, so he probably like, man, I ain't dealing with them kids. Them kids might be bad as hell. They might be stealing and taking from his son. Like, who knows? They probably wasn't in the picture when he was dealing with their woman. And then after they broke up and went their separate ways, then you had other kids. So he like, oh, what is you talking about, girl? I'm sticking to the script and holding up my end of the bargain when it come out of mine. Didn't nobody tell you to go have more kids. And I'm not finna stop being a daddy just because your other kids' daddy don't put in no work. That's on you and them. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with me nor my son. So I just think at the end of the day, her acting like that, her talking to him like that, her rejecting the food, and her trying to make him be responsible for her creation with other people, I think all that is some bullshit. And the people that's giving that man hell for standing on the square, that's bullshit too.